if you're a wife watching this, like your words matter. Like tons. And you cannot with your same tongue tell your husband that he's flopping and not turn around and use that same tongue when he's actually like improving to not give him compliments. You can't use that tongue to just destroy him or break him down, but you need to use that tongue to build him up as well, right?
In as much as you as a couple, maybe you're fighting and you get tired of fighting, right? But the fighting is so familiar. Like your body just knows how to gur all the time. It's automatic. You don't have to think about it. And so when the fight is over, it's very like you almost have to like teach yourself how to not fight. Teach yourself how to have your arms at ease and not like.
There was a level at which I'm like, man, like if I wasn't patient, if we weren't patient, we would have given up.
Yeah, for sure.
Long time ago, right? What episode or moment, we are like, I'm leaving here. I can't have a husband who thinks like this.
Hey, I don't know. We'll see if we keep this part in.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to That Husband Podcast with me, Blaque Nubon. Here we are husbands who aren't where we want to be, but certainly are not where we used to be. We are imperfect, always failing forward, trying to know better so that we can do better.
Eta, hola gents, my name is Utemba Tomuntuli. I am a relationship and a leadership consultant. Listen, on the 4th of October 2025, as a Machita, we are gathering. We've got what we call That Husband Prep Workshop. If you are single, you're not planning to get married, or you are already married, Zwagala. Let me tell you something. We know about health span. We know about lifespan. But do you know about sex span? Come that day, let's have a conversation about how, as a man, you can actually take care of your lifespan, your health span, and your sex span.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to That Husband Podcast with me, Blaque Nubon. This is where husbands try to know better so that we can do better. Before we jump into this episode, we want to thank everybody who's been supporting us. Man, truly excited just with all the feedback you guys have been giving us and just shouting us out and supporting the work that we're doing. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe. You can support us by doing that. Hit the notification bell so that you're updated on every single episode we drop every Wednesday at Hoppus 11. Two ways you can support us. One, you can go on our newly launched website, thathusband.com, and you can find all that we are building here. And you can support us the second way by booking me as a speaker, an MC or facilitator for your next event. Booking at blacknewborn.com. That's booking at blacknewborn.com. Today is a special heritage edition.
Heritage.
You are at home sitting with your family. I am here sitting with mine.
Yes, we are family, hey?
You know what it is?
Yeah, actually.
A great
You are my
philosopher
next of
once
kin.
said, I am your next of kin.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like,
For the longest,
That's so crazy.
longest of time, my next of kin was my parents.
and now it's me.
Now it's this girl.
Hey?
Look at that.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
How are you doing?
I am amazing.
Like, I'm sitting here waiting for my first bump.
Okay.
I've been waiting.
I wish I was trying to tell you
Oh, I just thought maybe you forgot.
that
I'm
you
so sorry.
mustn't
Yeah?
love your wife,
Okay.
but you must wife your love.
Guys, the internet needs to be taken away from some people. What?
Guys, on this amazing Heritage Day, please do not love your wives, but instead you must wives your loves.
Wives. Please, can you explain in detail what it means to wife your love? Like in actual
To wife my love.
practical detail.
It
Since you want to be
means-
viral.
It means that you are the personification.
Okay.
You know what personification
No,
is?
I have no
It
idea.
means that you are the...
Why you-
Let me tell you. If love is a person,
Yeah.
you are the legification of
The
love.
what?
The hand and the armification of
Okay.
love. The nose, the mouth,
Okay.
the earification
Okay.
of love.
Yes.
Love is incarnate.
Uh-huh.
That's you.
So what does it mean
This
to
is-
wife?
This is blasphemous.
Yeah, I was, you were going to a dangerous place there.
This is heretical and blasphemous.
I was like, my friend.
Anyway,
You're gonna get emails.
we are here. Guys, this is my wife. For those who don't know, sometimes people think that I'm just doing this in jail with
You're
no
just a
wife,
guy who says he's married.
with no wife. Anyway,
No, you're actually married to somebody.
a very
It's
hot
me.
somebody.
Okay.
Yeah. Chocolate
need
and
to- oh,
caramel.
God.
Ooh, what's that song on TikTok? That's you.
I don't know that song.
Chocolate and caramel.
I thought you were referring to the theme song of this podcast.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's a song dedicated to you. By the way, the music that you hear here is dedicated.
Yeah.
Go.
That ding, ding, dee, 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 dee.
I'm gonna
ding,
re-release
ding.
that song.
You should.
Anyway,
You should.
how are you doing?
I'm fine.
You good?
I'm good.
That's good.
I'm always nervous to come here
Why?
because it just feels like it's for the very together men of. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just nervous. I always feel like I need to be profound. I need to find my inner Jabu.
Okay.
And
Jay.
so that I can say something.
Wow.
I don't know.
Okay. How are you feeling today?
Today,
Yes.
I feel a bit tired because I woke up. I slept early.
Mm.
And then I was punished because then my body was like, at 2 a.m., you're done. Thanks for that.
Nice.
So I'm a bit like, whoa, okay, but it's all good.
Yeah,
I'm feeling positive. I'm feeling good. My child is
fire.
excited to be in her heritage outfit.
Come
She
on
looks, Blaque said she looks like AI. And I didn't get it at first. And then he was like,
Yeah.
no, because she just looks that pretty. I was
She
like,
looks
oh,
so
what an
pretty
interesting
and put
compliment.
together. And but like you see those AI people, you're like, why are you so perfect? But then you realize it's AI. So when I saw her, I was like, why do you look so perfect? You look like AI.
Mm.
Anyway,
Anywho,
those are compliments for the next generation. People are going to be macking like that.
Bruh.
I want to be, you be the A to my I.
ay,
Eh?
the artificial to my intelligence.
Come on. Yay! People are going to be
different,
wiping
bruh.
their laps.
Then they're gonna, whatever that means, they're gonna be doing that.
Anyway. So because it's a special Heritage Day episode, we're gonna chat about just how this pod has kind of shaped our marriage. If you knew, like from time to time, my wife comes in to check if I'm still doing the right things, and she doesn't want you guys to hear me say stuff, and then I'm not living that out at home. So from time to time, she comes in, she's like, and like, I want people to know that you are lying here.
I'm like, what was that?
What was that? So she's here to check up that we're still doing good things, right? Yeah, lovely things.
It's not that hardcore. Hey,
Listen, you scared a bunch of husbands
what do you mean?
with the last episode.
How did I scare them?
Because of the thumbnail.
Which one?
Yeah, my wife calls me out, and people
Was
were
that
like,
my doing?
people were like, "Hey, we don't even want to watch this one at work. We need to wait for the weekend."
And it wasn't even that hectic.
Anyway. So yeah, you've been watching.
Not only watching, I'm a staff member here.
No, yeah, that's hundreds.
I'm within.
Yeah, but it's in the staff membering that you are watching.
Yes,
as
that's
well.
true. That's true.
Yeah, thoughts as we get going of where things are. Yeah.
I think for me right now, it's just like, you set out to do something, and you hope it's gonna work. Nobody starts something and puts effort and is like, oh, whatever, you know what I mean? Like you surrender and all that stuff, but you hope it's gonna work. But I think I've really been struck with the reality of the work, in terms of the comments. I mean, I read every single comment. I'm like, it sounds dumb, but I was like, wow, like this is real life. Like this stuff is hitting people's actual lives, and I think it's beautiful to see.
Yeah.
It's beautiful to be part of, for sure. But sometimes it also feels like weighty, like, what's going to happen? Like, especially if like an episode is like doing well or getting a lot of engagement, or like you can see, and by engagement, I mean like people are engaging, especially in the comments, or you're getting DMs. I'm just like, so there's a feeling of like, I don't know, like the weight of the responsibility, even though I'm not, obviously I'm not going, hey, what's up? Welcome to That Husband podcast with me, Blaque Nubon, where husbands come together to know better so that we can do better. I just added that. You don't have to do anything.
You
if
slipped.
you'd like.
Yeah, because ooh yeah,
Why?
papa.
It left me. We're husbands.
Ooh yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Lord.
Hey, what's up?
The Holy
Welcome
Spirit has arrested you in your moment of trying to be a weapon that's formed
Oh, wow.
against
I'm a weapon.
me.
I'm a weapon.
The Holy Spirit arrests.
Why do pastors do that?
No weapons formed against me. Not even weapons that are fashioned.
Wow.
Yeah.
I even lost my train of thought. I'm so mad
well,
that that
yeah.
failed. I'm so angry. But so
You
angry.
were trying to
Like,
make
I know
fun
that
of
thing.
me.
I know you. I know it.
Anyway.
But even though I'm not sitting there as, the guy
Yes.
in the forefront, I am your wife, right?
Yes,
I'm
yes.
your business partner, whatever. And I'm accountable to our community, accountable to God, whatever, all of those like things that maybe people might not be able to like touch or whatever. But I feel that weightiness that I don't want you to come here and talk nonsense. But for that to happen, I'm also part of this thing. You know what I mean? Like I have to play my part within our living so that you can come here and do what you need to do. Obviously, our marriage is not for purely the purpose of this podcast and this work,
Sure.
but it's definitely part of it because I also know that you are not trying to live a lie as well. So the weightiness of it, and yeah, I respect it so much. And it's like okay, but it's like, well, someone might be like, what did you expect? And
What do
I'm
you
not
mean?
sure what I expected.
What do you mean somebody might say, what did you expect?
Like why did you think that maybe starting something like this would just be like you and your mom and your one friend watching and engaging?
Yeah, sure.
And just the ripple effects of what it could be. The size of it and how it's growing is both exciting but weighty for me as your wife. But also as somebody who's part of the organization.
Sure.
That was
No,
a
that's
long
dope.
answer, sorry.
That's fine. Yeah, that's cool, man. I think shout outs to everybody who's just been engaging with the stuff. And I think the stuff that you're alluding to is just how seeing in real time how people's lives are changed by this. And I think then seeing the impact, because yes, we set out to one, kind of raise the temperature when it comes to the value of husbandhood, the sanctity of marriage, and then particularly trying to speak to part of the specifics is speaking to young guys who don't see why it's important to get married. One, because there's obviously just like bad examples around them, or they themselves have kind of drank the Kool-Aid of our culture and they're like, there's just no point in doing this thing. But then husbands who are despondent, husbands who are in, and you've been running for a couple of years and you just feel like, man, I'm alone. I don't have anyone to talk to. Maybe I'm crazy. This stuff is just happening to me alone. So to see all of those people and wives, to then see all of those people come and they're like, yo, man, like this episode changed my marriage this way, or this episode changed my perspective on how I see my wife, or vice versa. When you guys said this, then I could finally get into my husband's mind and I could then understand why he functions the way he functions, or he does this particular thing the way he does it, etc., etc. So that I'm like, oh, smack. Yeah, like it's one thing to desire it. It's a whole other thing to see it happen.
And like experience it.
Yeah. And there's parts of it where I'm just like, yes, it's that thing of being called that husband, where I'm like, I get it, but man, I'm not that husband,
Yeah.
And maybe we could talk about that.
Yeah, can I share the story of actually the title of
What
how
do
it
you
came up, the name of the thing?
Okay.
Yeah, because it's just where we are now is sometimes some people do call you that husband.
Yeah.
Right. And I remember when we were, formulating everything, I walked in the house and so Blaque had the title and was written the Husband Podcast in the same lettering and whatever. And I was like, no, I think you should say that Husband Podcast because then it's like, it's like, what podcast is that? Oh, it's that Husband Podcast. Which, funny enough, there's still a lot of people who call it the Husband Podcast. So I don't know that worked. And then you then became that husband, which I didn't think, I think we were in like the shop sometime or somewhere, I don't know. And somebody was like, hey, that husband. And I get it in the sense of like, obviously you're the host
Yes.
and your face is under this branding. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's like it's someone calling an actor by their, it's, calling Nzigi from Generations. Like I get it. But I think underneath that made me worry, and maybe you can tell me if that's an experience you have, where it's like, do people think you are the poster child of like what a husband should be? Is there that expectation that did that? Because like I said, I didn't see it coming personally. It's not something that I even like thought of.
Yeah.
But yeah, is that like a thing that like you?
Yeah, and and it's a larger conversation around like having heroes in culture or just in society in general, where because of the state of how broken families are, how disintegrated marriages are, manhood is under attack, and I mean we all know the rhetoric, but like
Rhetoric.
you
Reality.
Okay.
I just remembered the English on the last episode. Sorry.
Well, I feel weird.
I'm so sorry. It comes in my brain and it has to come out. Otherwise, I would have stopped listening. I'm so sorry. Rhetoric.
I talk like this at home.
I know, but like, we are at that husband podcast.
Wow.
We are.
Anyway.
I apologize. Too late to apologize. Sorry.
And so we know what the narratives are.
Yes.
And so I get why. I get how this work shines in the backdrop of that darkness, or even pushes back against that darkness, and why then they'd be like, "Yo, like,
you're the guy."
So some people say I'm the guy, which we need to talk about. And then other people are just like, yo, man, we see light. Right?
Yeah.
Which is dope. And I'm like, yo, man, praise the Lord. There's light pushing back against just the state of our culture and where it is right now when it comes to the family. But then the second is, again, the people who are like, you the guy. And I'm like, I'm not. Like, and I say I'm not because I'm living a double life. But I'm like, there's a standard of who that husband is that I strive towards.
Yeah.
And I encourage all other husbands who watch this, who engage this. And even if you're not a husband who engages this and you're somewhere out there in the world, but I'm like, man, all husbands need to kind of thrive towards the standard of that husband. And that husband, honestly, is Jesus. Self-sacrificing, self-denying, just lays himself at the altar for his bride and just takes all of who she is with all that she is, and it's just like so adamant to love her completely, to the point where he's like, yo, I'll die for you. And so I'm like, man, that's a high calling, that's a high standard, that's just like astronomical, it's next level. And so we need to be thriving towards that. But am I that? Man, no. But I desire to be that. And I always push back when somebody's like, that husband. I'm like, man, like my wife would be the first person to tell you after God that like I'm not that husband. Not perfect at all. But true to our slogan, we're failing forward.
For sure.
We wanting to get on these mics, get on these cameras, have a chat with another husband so that we can know better.
Yeah.
In order for us to do better, because we realize that where we currently are, we're not doing better. And so we want to do better. And here's the thing, at some point, and I think this is what this moment is, that we need to acknowledge that we are doing better.
Yeah.
We are doing better, right? So I'm like, because we can't keep on saying, let's fail forward, let's know better so that we can do better. And it's like, but comrades, is this thing actually happening? Right? So I'm like, but this moment, I can confidently say, feedback from husbands and just even for our marriage, I'm like, man, I think we are doing better, and better could even be like 2%.
Listen, that's
but
a difference.
It's a difference.
That's a difference between an A and a B.
That's the difference between an exemption. And
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know, do they still have exemption? What is it again?
They do.
No, it's something else.
They have
It's
exemptions.
not. It's called something
Yeah,
else.
university endorsement.
Endorsement.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the one. But I think anyway, it's a huge difference, and I think
Yeah.
especially if you've been in a place of struggle,
Yes.
when you can just breathe slightly better, man,
That's like, and those are the small things that then lead to you kind of being like, shucks, we're not where we were,
Yes.
you know?
Yes.
And so you must appreciate like those small moments. You have to.
So there's times when I shared it in the previous episode when it comes to our faith. And I'm not putting you on the spot to gas myself up, but I'm asking for like a practical, real time
Okay.
example. Where have you seen me do 2%? And how has that impacted you as a wife? And that's why I'm saying I'm putting you on the spot. I mean, I never send briefs to any of my guests,
Including me.
Send a brief to you, but so yeah, because I shared just about our faith journey, and just how now, 11 to 12 years in, I'm like, you can see, and you don't have to talk about that. If that's it, then sure. But in that moment, you were like, man, like I know how much this was a scar,
Yeah.
and how much your confidence was like destroyed around this area. But now I can see that like you're trying, right? And just side note, again, there's men in our lives who'll tell us that we're giants, and that's gonna do something for us, which is, kind of get us to walk in us being giants as husbands.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But there's something about our wives and them using the same language, calling us giants, that will propel us further than any man can speak into our lives. And so I say that
I feel
to
like
say,
that's a whole, like, you know how people put episode requests?
yeah.
That's like a request I have to understand that thing.
I
Anyway,
know
but
we could
not
talk about
today.
we could talk about it a bit now, but I set this up, preface it to say this, that if your wife watching this, like your words matter, like tons, and you cannot with your same tongue tell your husband that he's flopping, and not turn around and use that same tongue when he's actually like improving, to not give him compliments. You can't use that tongue to just destroy him or break him down, but you need to use that tongue to build him up as well, right? Anyway.
I feel like I don't. Sorry, I know I'm gonna. I'm eventually gonna answer the question.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
But I'm not gonna speak for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay? Myself and the wives in my community.
Yeah.
I feel like most of us just didn't know that matters. Or that it's that important.
Yeah,
To
sure.
hear the good stuff. You know what I mean? It's just, and again, it's probably like, well, duh, of course you, like, who doesn't want to
Because
be
you want
encouraged?
that as well.
Huh?
Because you want that as well.
Yeah,
as a
for
wife.
sure.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I just didn't think it, I don't know, man. I don't know. And maybe it's because, like, men are not going to, like, have a meltdown because you said, an external meltdown because you said something harsh. It'll be internal and build up, So I don't know. It's just that thing is still like it's still rocking me from, I don't know which episode it was where it came out, that was like, oh, is that like a thing? Yeah. But shucks, to answer your question, I'm wondering why you went to the faith one.
Because it's last week's episode,
Okay.
so it's fresh.
Yeah. I think number one, I didn't realize how much that fight, if anyone is confused, go to just click back. But I didn't realize how much that fight would have, I didn't realize how costly it would be.
Okay.
As a couple, right? So first of all, I didn't realize it would be such a costly thing that I did, and I thought it was like, we're overdone. Kanti, this thing had became like a huge root that was just choking out other things in the garden, which I think I only fully realized, I don't know, last 2-3 years, And finally, we worked through where it came from, where you were coming from, where I was coming from. But I think where we are now. Is the thing that I've appreciated the most was I felt like you just started hearing me and like you chose to. And it's not that you weren't, right? Because there were so many dynamics at play with why we were fighting about the faith, why we were fighting about we're all coming from like different places, right? But it just felt like there was, because you said in the episode that you realized you bulldozed me with how you wanted us to believe, how you wanted us and I sometimes think, just a side note, that believers, we can be, I used to be very worried that I wasn't the right type of believer, right type of Christian. I still sometimes feel like, am I doing this properly, you know? And maybe it was that. I don't know. But you had like a very like strong thing about you that it had to be this. And then I was crushed under the weight of that. And when finally we worked through those things and we had that fat chat, and it felt like finally I can tell you what I actually think.
Yes.
And I could see you literally like adjusting yourself to just hear me. You know, I could see you doing the mental mathematics and gymnastics to work through your own and just hear me. And that I'm not trying to debate. I'm not trying, because also that's another thing. Like I will fight for the sake of fighting. So it would, that was also then at play, which then it's like, you're not going to think I'm wrong. You're not going to make me seem like I don't have a brain. We're going to fight, okay? Because I'm smart.
Shokel.
Okay? And I want to show you now.
Shokel. And I'm like, don't test me. I do this for a living.
Yeah, but I'm still gonna. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
You have to live with me, sir.
Yeah. And I'm like, yes, I do this to come live at home.
Yeah,
and
now
now
it's here looking at you.
I'm gonna, let's go.
You know?
There's something I need to say on that, but you
Okay.
can finish. Yeah.
But I think the thing has been this, you've given me, and that's something that 1% is such a big deal.
Yeah.
Because I remember that first day when you just were like, okay, cool. What do you believe about this? Or where are you with that? And I could say in some things, I'm not sure about this. And I didn't feel like, like I'm in trouble. You know what I mean? There was just space. And the more that it's, and like a different level of intimacy, you know,
sure.
because to share, you know, like somebody said, like prayer is such an intimate thing, you know, even like some people struggle to pray themselves, like just between them and God, let alone amongst other people. And so it was just like, man, it just felt like there was a part of me that not only, how do I say, not only that you could witness, but I think it felt accepted, you know, and in as messy as it is, and I'm trying to figure this out, it just felt like it's okay, which then just generally upped the ante in terms of like trust levels, you know.
Yeah,
so that was I'm not sure if I answered this the way.
No, that's what I
intended
said.
to,
If you
but,
want to go to the spiritual thing, you could. What helped, and I'm just realizing now, and that's why I said I wanted to mention something with that, because for the longest time, I struggled with, you know, I'd go to a conference. There's a Q&A section. Somebody's going to come ask, you know, whatever. What happened when Adam and Eve were created? Where did the other people come from? And I'm like, man, had this question 100 times. Okay, cool, let's go. Wow, whatever, you know, question around the birth of Jesus, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, we could go. And here's the thing, and I don't know if I've told you this. I'm like, the person who's asking me the question, I don't know their history, their background, where they come from, etc. I don't have any context. They're just asking me this question now. The Bible is open. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. You, I know you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know the question behind the question. And so then I'm wrestling with, but like, you're actually not asking this question. There's a thing that you're struggling with there, and we need to talk about that thing. But then you coming at me with this particular question, you know? And so then for the longest time, I was just like, but I'm trying to tell you, like, you're my wife, I know you, but you coming with as though like I'm part of a panel and you just some random chick during the Q&A. And I just couldn't.
Are you saying you couldn't understand why I wasn't asking the questions more honestly?
I think, yeah.
But I think it was that thing.
Yeah,
it was the weight of feeling like I need to be the right kind.
The right kind of Christian.
You know, which I'm also rebellious. I'm rebelling against that, you know? And I'm also under the weight of, Blaque's the guy who sits on a panel. Nah, I'm not gonna be. Well, that's Blaque. I'm not like that. It's so like, you know? But you have questions, and you're the only person I feel like I can ask.
Yeah.
But I'm also angry about that.
Yeah. Oh, Lord.
Anyway,
Lord.
we needed to grow up, guys. We needed to grow up.
Another thing is part of what the bulldozing is, and maybe somebody was wondering, especially as husbands who are pastors, we have to remember not to pastor our wives, but to be husbands to our wives first, and that's the calling. But I
Why do I feel like someone's going to come and challenge you theologically in the comments with that thing? It's going to come with an essay like this.
Okay,
About
with
being
what?
the priest of the home. I don't know. I just, as you said, we're not supposed to pastor our wives.
Yeah,
Like
you're not.
somebody's already here.
Yeah, sure. Do whatever. though. Yeah, I'm not. That's my first ministry is being a husband,
Fear nothing.
not being a pastor. That's my first ministry.
I'm telling you,
God is
I'm going to
not-
look out for it.
God is not calling me to pastor my wife first. He's calling me to be my wife's husband first and foremost, and that does include being a priest of my home. But like, that's all encompassing. I'm your husband first, not your pastor first.
I like it when you get that.
What?
Anyway,
Yeah.
that's when I know you're like, sorry.
So
Sorry.
no,
sorry,
that's
sorry.
fine. So I'm like, whatever.
Okay.
But so I the thing that freed me,
Mhm.
I had a conversation with, and I was just thinking maybe I shouldn't mention his name. He's very well known because this was such a private moment. So I'm not going to mention his name, but it's relevant.
Good idea.
So I think he was celebrating 32 years of being a pastor, running this particular church. And I was like, man, 32 years, massive, blah, blah, blah. I'm driving with him to a conference. So he's not from the country. So he's just landed. I'm picking him up at the airport. We go into this place. And I'm like, man, this is like so dope. And I was like, man, like I've known this guy. We've been in the same room, but I've never had like a one-on-one with him.
Right.
So I was like, this is going to be dope. We're driving for an hour. So we're going to have nice chats. So then I'm like, I mean, you've probably been asked tons of questions about stuff. But I was like, if you would go back to, the early days of your ministry, like what's the one thing that you would change now? And he was like, oh, smack. The one thing I would do is not expecting my congregants to be where I was theologically at that point. So I learned
Oh, okay.
I learned
remember that
something
chat.
new.
Mm.
I'm convicted. I live it out. And I preach from conviction, which is supposed to happen. And then I'm like, why aren't you bastards changing?
Come on.
Come on.
Yeah.
Follow what I'm doing.
Mm.
Right? And then he's like, oh, like people are just at different
They're
points.
where they are, man.
They're where they are. God is meeting them there. There's a mess. And there's a slow process that, all of that stuff. And I remember thinking, oh, smack, that's how I bulldoze my wife. Because my wife was supposed to be there with me. And I was like, why aren't you
I was still figuring it
getting
out.
this thing right?
Yeah.
And it's not even that, like, you know what the fundamentals are. You believe that stuff and you live it out. And it's, but I'm just like, you're supposed to be eating meat by now. Stop drinking milk.
What in the world?
Sometimes, bro, they better be eating meat at this time. And it's like,
Spit out the bones.
yeah.
What is that thing?
And
I
it's
don't
like,
remember.
yeah, you're supposed to be eating meat, but like have you appreciated the fact that like they're here, they're drinking this milk, and are you gonna walk with them as they drink milk to elevate them? And you know what I mean? And anyway, and we kind of parachute into that Hebrews passage, but that's how I felt about it. That's what also freed me. I was like, smack, like I just need to walk with my wife.
But I'm gonna
Yeah, sure.
divert a bit.
Sure.
Because I don't know if that's also like a man thing. So let's move away from being
sure.
a guy who's a pastor and whatever, right?
Sure.
Just where, because we've had that where, so where you'll have like a big moment, I'm just imagining somebody's watched an episode and they've seen something and it's big and you want to come home and you want to change the world, meaning your household, right?
Yes.
And your wife and kids are like, okay.
Yes.
That also tends to
Walk
I don't know
us-
if it's that.
Walk us through your newness.
This
This revelation you've got. Walk
we need
us
to get to
through.
know you.
Yeah.
You need to remember where we are in reference to this
Yes.
point and the patience of what it means to say, okay, from now on, we're going to do. I remember Denzel Washington years ago in an interview speaking about how obviously he goes on set and he films. And then he comes home after 2 months or whatever.
Yeah.
And his wife, I think she's
Yeah, I remember
Pauletta.
that thing.
And then he's like, he would come in and want to be the dad and the
yeah.
husband
And it's
and
like-
say, this is what we're doing today. And she's like,
For 2 months, I've been running this
I've been
household.
running this
Yeah.
thing. I don't think this is going to work. Like, I understand you want to be the guy, but we have a rhythm here. So rather get to know us where we are, know yourself, and then build those bridges. And so I'm like, I find like that's sometimes what happens, you know, and I think it's the thing of you want to lead, you want to do the thing, which is good and it's desired, right? But then, and then what happens when it doesn't work? Complete discouragement.
Yeah,
I'm out.
frustrated.
I'm never doing that again.
It's being a kingly shepherd or a shepherd king, where you know most husbands either are polarized between the two. So you're either a king and you want to rule from your palace and your throne, you know, just dishing out rules, dish out rules, and all the people that you ruling over are supposed to just fall
Is that
in
a
line.
kingly shepherd?
No, that's a king.
That's a king. Okay.
And then a shepherd is there with the sheep. He smells like the sheep. He walks with the sheep. The sheep know his voice, you know. But sometimes shepherd husbands then would not set rules
Yes.
for the sheep, and then the sheep tend to wander off quite a lot, and then he's frustrated.
And you get, it's like, sir,
and
you
then he
did
starts
this.
acting like a butcher, right? Which is another thing. And he starts acting like a butcher, and it's like, yo, you should have been clear. But a shepherd king will have both. So you'll get off the throne and come and smell like the sheep, but there's times you're gonna have to ascend to the throne and rule. You know, and you know, before somebody comes and stabs us, like you can be a shepherd queen as well.
In the comments.
Hey!
I feel number 45. Honestly, sometimes the comments scare me. Like, there are people who've given me sleepless nights. You know? I need to yeah.
Anyway, so to kind of wrap up the question, you would say then that was an area of improvement.
Yes. And it was, listen, and it was also weird, because that's another thing, right? Like, in as much as you as a couple, maybe you're fighting and you get tired of fighting, right? But the fighting is so familiar. Like, your body just knows how to all the time. It's like it's it's automatic. You don't have to think about it.
Sure.
It almost feels safe, right? Because it's familiar. I know what this is. And so when the fight is over, it's very, like, you almost have to like teach yourself how to not fight. Teach yourself how to just sit. Teach yourself how to have your arms at ease and not like ready to. So that was also a thing for me, because I'm on my thing. You know, I remember reading a thing when Blaque bulldozed. Yeah, I was bulldozed. I'm joking. Bulldozed. But when now the moment arrived where we could finally heal this broken area, I had to also, sorry, Grace said something stupid on camera. I had to rise to the occasion as well. And I didn't expect that. I didn't expect what it would feel like to have to respond to this goodness that you're offering now. Now I'm like, oh, how does
how do I receive goodness and not fight?
And how do we then, you know, you've laid out whatever, the olive branch. I have to now take, I don't actually know what that saying means, but you get the idea, right? Like, so I think it was that thing where, that was but again, sitting in the awkwardness of those early stages then brought me where now I can be like, yeah, you know, I was watching this random video where this person said this, and you'd be like, I know that's nonsense. I'm like, yeah, that's nonsense. It's okay. You know, like it was just, and I think it goes back to the episode we did, I don't know what it's in February, about the fear of fully being known by you. Yeah. You fully knowing me. Yeah. Right. That it's like, if he finds out that I think certain things or I have certain things, will it be? And that is across the board, not just, you know, it's like, is it okay? And like, it was okay. Like we worked through what we needed to work through. Yeah. But it also, again, I keep going back to that these small fights, especially in the early days, that it's like, you don't, don't let it cost you years. It can happen. And I mean, I think it's obviously God uses what he uses, you know, and it's nothing's wasted. But I think things would have been a bit easier, you know. Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah. No. Anyway, there's more to say on that, but cool. Thanks for that.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Sorry, were you going somewhere?
No, this is fine.
Why are you
laughing?
I was
gonna say something stupid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm curious. That's what I'm thinking about now. But I'm gonna focus and be present.
Come on now.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
It goes back to something you said earlier on
Yeah.
about not being that husband and
Yeah.
being like, I mean, I think there was even somebody who, a guest who was supposed to come, who you would wanted to come, a well-known person, and his response was like, no, I'm not like, and I don't know, it kind of made me think like, but all of the guys who've come here have really expressed their flaws and how they've worked through them and how they're working through them, and just this idea that we're all striving, for something within this marriage thing. But then you were talking about being called to live sacrificially, love, I don't know. Again, you don't have to speak for all men. Maybe like you or your people. Does hearing those things, I've always wondered, does it feel like, I have to do this thing? Or does it inspire like a dun, 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 let's go? Because honestly, like me hearing that, granted, I'm a woman, I've only ever been a girl, right? Like, I'm like, is it like a, God didn't make you a man, so you don't get it. But like hearing that feels like, that's too much, bro. Like what, or do you have to, like as a husband, like do you have to work yourself to want to live sacrificial? Okay, obviously, I don't know if you get it.
No, I hear what you're saying.
Is it bad news sometimes to hear that stuff?
It's how it comes.
Okay.
It's in the how it comes.
Okay.
I think generally all men, because God has wired this risk appetite in us, to go conquer, to go build, to go provide, protect, etc., etc. Like you need to have a level of confidence for you to step out into the world and build something. Especially if you're gonna have a family. If you're gonna have a family, you're gonna need to have a level of courage, a level of confidence for you to go build family. One, I need to be courageous to convince you to, follow this vision that I believe I have. I need to be courageous in building a home. I need to be courageous in whatever, right? So there needs to be a level of courage that you have, a level of confidence. And when that confidence is like all our confidence is tainted by sin. And if it is driven just by your brokenness, then, becomes pride, ego, becomes ugly. Right? And then the very same people you claim to be building for, you trample over, and you would even sacrifice at the altar of achieving the thing that you want to achieve. And it's no longer about the people that you want to achieve it for, but it's just about you achieving the stuff. So I think generally all men have that thing. And that thing will be shaped, will be unearthed, would be brought to the surface, especially if a man is passive, which generally we kind of all born are as passive. And so you need, a father to unearth that. You need older men, you need a brother, you need friends who just have a sense of purpose and vision, who
that's actually where I was going to go now that you're there, to be like, what if you don't have that? Like, what if you don't have, like, is it just a natural thing that's...
Yeah, so some dudes work it out of themselves and then think then, they either get to wherever they working that courage for. So if you're working that courage for marriage, you're working that courage for career, you're working that courage for whatever, something else that you're building. By the time you get there, man, you're going to be tired. And we've seen dudes like that. We've seen dudes who get to the altar and they like, I am done.
Right.
And it's like, man, this is where actually the thing begins.
You're starting now.
You started. This is day zero. This is day zero. Getting her, convincing her, paying for the wedding, etc. That's like in the minus.
Right.
This is day zero, and you're tired, and that's why I'm like, most guys struggle within the first 3 years of marriage. Yeah, girls too as well, but like speaking particularly about husbands, because you didn't have a father figure, you didn't have guys around you who are unearthing that thing, encouraging it, building it, massaging it out of you. You were doing that yourself, and that takes a level of energy that you might need in your reserves when you get into marriage, so that you can pull from some of those things. Now you don't have. You come in on reserve already, and then it's hard, So I think all men need to have that thing unearthed. So what I was saying earlier on is how that thing is unearthed is what matters.
Yeah.
So there'll be guys who respond to, just
do
discipline.
It. Get it done.
David Goggins.
Boy.
Yeah, like your toes are bleeding.
That's
Go!
Boy, David Goggins.
And there's times that appeals to parts of all men.
Yeah.
And there's times where it's like, nah, dog, like I don't want bleeding toes, like that's stupid. Like I don't want to do that,
So-
dog. Like no, like I want to do the thing right. I want to push. I don't want to get there with bleeding toes, bro. Whatever. And that's not glorious for me. I have a different idea of glory, but so it depends on how the thing is unearthed. So
Okay.
so, and that's why I'm like, even hearing people say, but like you come, there's husbands who come here and you speak about your brokenness, etc., etc. And I'm like, yeah, but like we hold that intention. We speak about our brokenness, but we also speak about like why we need to fight back against that brokenness because there's something good we're building.
Yeah.
So it's hope within brokenness. And we never want to, like kind of oscillate on one and just sit on, oh, everything is good, it's hopeful, we're gonna be amazing husbands, whatever. And it's like, that's a lie. Your wife is gonna remind you when you get home. But at the same time, yes, you flopped, but you're
can't
you're
just be
flopped.
that, yeah.
And we can't come here and wallow and just talk
Yeah.
about how much we victims, etc., etc. And it's like, no, stuff happens, but we're not gonna stay there. And in fact, because this has happened, it's given us a level of consciousness to be awakened to the possibility that we can pursue hope.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so I would say then there's guys who just respond to, we suck, we're gonna fight, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, okay, it's dope. And then there's dudes who are just like, oh, things are gonna be amazing, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I think you need both. And I'll end here. It's that thing I always say about men having either one guy or a couple of guys who either pose a physical threat, which is that, we need to do the hard things. And you need guys that you're afraid of disappointing, which is, more hopeful, more, let's speak to your soul type of stuff. And so I'm like, you always need those, either a man who has both or a couple of guys who embody those
Yes.
two things, So I need a man in my life who will pose a physical threat where I'm like, if I do something stupid, this dude is not going to talk to me. He's going to trap me. And that brings me into order. I'm like, I don't want to be trapped.
Like literally.
Yeah, no, he's going to trap me literally, right? Like, and I'm like, you don't need that as a woman.
don't need
you
that.
don't need that.
I don't want it. I can't fight.
It's that video of the boy whose mother's like, go to sleep. And he's like,
Yes.
yeah. And the dad comes in, hey, and goes, because he knows, okay, physical threats. This guy's going to trap me, right? And we never grow out of that as boys. We need that when we're young because we have, again, risk appetite. Who's gonna make sure that this thing is guarded well? And we see it around when we're teenagers. When we're boys, it's irritating. But when we're teenagers, our bodies are strong enough that we could do crazy things, but our brains are not developed enough to tell us you can't fly. And so now you wanna get on a mountain and fly. And then you die.
You're gonna die.
And so you need a guy who's gonna say, hey, okay, I can't jump, right? And that changes when we get into our early 20s, it changes in our early 30s, it changes in our 40s. But that figure always has to be there, And then you need another figure where you're like, oh, smack, this guy's not gonna pose a physical threat, but man, like his opinions, how he makes me feel, his thoughts, like, man, really matter. It's not his
care
hands.
what he thinks.
I care about his words and his thoughts.
Okay.
The other dude, he can throw hands.
You can do damage.
Yay. The other dude, words, thoughts.
Right.
And so I'm like, you need both. So I think you need both. Some men gravitate towards one and the other, but I'm like, you kind of need both.
Hey family, it's that time again. Beans and Bonds is back on Saturday, the 27th of September, right here at Christchurch Midrand. We are gathering people who care about building healthy marriages and relationships. Let me say that again, it's for everybody. So make sure that you are pulling through. Our theme this time is provision and the price we pay as men. Because whether you are a husband, a wife, or you are preparing for marriage, you know the weight of providing, putting food on the table, creating security, chasing success, and sometimes sacrificing yourself in the process. But man, there should be a healthier way, a godlier way.
we have assembled a powerful lineup to help us wrestle with this topic. Our guest of honor is none other than the modern Mkwenyana, Sean Mahlangu. He will be in the room. And we are bringing back my wife, your friend, Lilly Million. She's going to join us. Doors open at 9:30 and we start sharply at 10 to finish at 1 p.m. But there's something special happening at 8 o'clock. Before the main session, my wife and I will be hosting an intimate breakfast just for 20 people. Man, this is a chance for us to sit together, share stories, dig a little bit deeper. So remember, space is limited, so book your seat right now. This morning is about equipping ourselves, strengthening our homes, and finding wisdom on the journey of marriage. Don't carry the weight alone. Come through, invite a friend, and let us build together. Beans and bonds. See you then. All right, peace. And so I'm like, you need both. So I think you need both. Some men gravitate towards one and the other, but I'm like, yo, you kind of need both. So anyway, did I answer your question?
You did in there somewhere.
Sure.
You did earlier on.
Yes.
No, you did.
Yeah,
and then we went into this thing, which was like super interesting.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I feel like I keep thinking of like the guys were like, you want this, you know? Because I don't know, it does sound like, I don't know, like you have to then admit that I need this, right?
Yeah.
I want this, which kind of puts you at admitting you're at a deficit, which is like not a nice feeling, you know?
That's the best place to be.
No, for sure. But it's like, I think because we all want to believe like, you know, we're good. If you can dream it, you can do it. You know, I'm the head and not the tail.
Yeah.
But sometimes you are that tail, my friend.
Yeah, you're a very long tail, bro.
Yo, eh. You know, and
You're
like
very
guys who
long
like
tail.
who want that.
Yeah.
And who are like, shucks, but like, where do you find it?
Yeah.
And it's always just a thing where that's always what I like think about, where it's like, shucks, where does a person begin? And I think some of the things just have to happen like organically, you know. But but I also do believe like God does respond to those like internal like, man, I really wish I could, you know. But I'm just gonna quickly do a shameless plug for Beans and Bonds.
That's fine.
Because I feel like oftentimes when like we'll be in the DMs and I'm like, I'm looking for community, and I'm like, bro, like come hang here. You know, there's been like friendships that have been built, and it's been really cool to like see people be like, oh, I made a friend here, and like this is really cool. Outside of obviously, you know, the topic and the conversation and stuff. So you know, come through to that, guys. The next one
this Saturday.
This Saturday,
the 27th.
Saturday is it the 27th? Yes, it's the 27th.
It's happening.
Yeah.
So as you enjoy heritage, book.
Yes.
Come through on the Saturday, the 27th.
Yes.
How for you as a wife and
As a
my
woman.
wife particularly, Musadi waka, Goskas, Mufumahad. Yeah, King Mufumahad. Alan to sing. I think at a personal level, what have been the changes for you that you are like, oh, smack, like, I've become better as a wife because of this podcast.
Oh yeah.
And then how has it also changed the conversations you having with
Lashings.
hallelujah with your friends who are wives?
My comrades.
Come on now. Your
Sister wives. Hi man. What is happening? Sure, it's gonna be long.
Sure.
The first one, I just listen more to you. And when I say listen, I don't mean like listen to you, like say do this, but like listen to what you're thinking.
Yes.
And I try ask the questions. I ask my questions better. I investigate you more than I used to, because if there's one thing that like like watching the pod, being in the background, and it's like how guys do talk, guys. Like, and they've got stuff to say, like a lot, you know. But I think, and I think I was saying this to you yesterday, that I think for whatever reason, I'm sure some clever anthropologist person will figure it out for us. But like women are trained, whether we're born that, whatever, to speak. And you guys in relation to now in relationships are trained to listen, you know, and then going back to that thing of the idea of this is the muscle that I know how to use. I know how to speak, you know how to listen. So that's the equation. She talks too much, he never speaks, right? And that's how it's been for many, many hundreds of years, right? And then, but then what happens is that like to learn to then listen it's like there's a certain muscle that I realized I needed to develop, right? Like I don't consider myself a poor listener. I mean, it's not something I've really like thought of necessarily.
Yes.
I'm just thinking of it now. But I think within our marriage, I was like, yeah, like there was just times I just wasn't listening. And maybe that's why I just thought of it now. You know where I'm going.
Lord, I love this podcast. Guys, if you can't afford therapy, buy mics,
Oh my
buy
word.
cameras. I love this.
Just take all your money and go start about.
Take all
So the
your
reason
savings.
I'm laughing, oh my word, this is like a real. So whenever we fight, right? Blaque, I'm being humiliated. Yeah,
Humility.
I want to cut the cameras.
In real time.
Cut the cameras. Cut the show. I'm laughing because whenever we'd fight,
Yeah.
you would say, "You're not hearing me."
Yeah.
Oh, that thing would piss me off. Right? Yes, like divorce immediately. Like I am out. I'm burning the house down on my way out. You're not here. Don't tell me. And I'd be like, don't say that. To the point that it even had to be a rule.
That's a disclaimer.
Rules of engagement where I'm like, please don't say that because now I don't want to hear you. Because for me, you are like, you're questioning my abilities. You're not here. No, it's you saying that this opinion that you have would not exist if you heard what I said. So you're saying that my brain is broken. You're saying that I'm stupid. You're saying that I'm an idiot.
Yeah, sure.
But in this moment, I'm like, I'm not an idiot. You is kind. You is smart.
You was important.
I realized
Yeah.
because I would watch these episodes and be like, I've known you since I was 18 years old. We've been married for 12, well, going on 12, together for 12, 13, somewhere there. Where I'm like, I should know this. Why do I not know this? And I'm sure there's so much of my life, my being, that you could, like, if I like get off this earth, you could write my autobiography. Like I trusted you'd be able to put it in my words. But there were things I'm like, I should, like, this is my friend.
I could be your chat GPT.
You could be my artificial to my intelligence.
Come on now. Come on.
You. But I was like, there's things that I should know, but I'm like, I just was taking up so much space. And I think you gave it to me, which I'm grateful for. But I think it goes back to that thing that you did what you've learned to do, which is I'm going to be the sounding board and I'm going to be the sound. And that's how this works. And so watching, like, there's so much that I've learned about, first of all, men in general. And this is speaking as someone who's always had guy friends, like always had, like, it's not like I didn't hang out with guys, but you know, you're not a guy, you know, you're still a girl in the group, right? So hearing men speak, I'm like, wait, like there's certain levels of conversations, there's ways of thinking, there's ways of being, and then hearing things that you know, like I think especially like around your dad, like issues around your dad, where again, I've known the story, you know, I was there for a lot of it, but I hadn't realized how much it had affected you. And I don't mean you feel sad or you feel angry. I just mean how you move.
Yes.
Like I didn't actually. And it's like, why do you not know this? Because you're always talking. I started listening more and investigating more. And not assuming that whatever I think is happening is exactly what's happening.
Yes.
And I'm going to question you from that vantage point. And I always say to the ladies, if I happen to know the wives of the guys who come on here, it's not a lot, but when I do know them, I'll usually be like, how are you feeling about the episode? Oh, I'm a bit nervous today. And I tell them 3 things are going to happen. One, he's going to say something that she'll be like, that is not how that went. That is, sir, like that wasn't the city, that wasn't the year.
We have the gift of hyperbole. Hyperbole?
Yeah.
We have the gift of exaggeration.
I'm like, I even think at the last Beans and Buns, you said something that I said. It was like, that's not what, okay.
We're big picture people as husbands.
You're creative picture people.
Big
you just get the idea and then you. So I'm like, first of all, he's going to say something that's like totally, and then second of all, he's going to say something that's going to piss you off. You're going to be angry. You're going to send a WhatsApp. But thirdly, if you can get past those 2 things, which is usually small things, like you're going to get to know this person in a way you never have. And that's what happens to me. Like every week, when, I'm like, shucks, and the beauty about it is you're bringing guys from all different walks of life.
Yeah.
Some are not like people that like are in our friendship group or whatever it is. And you're just like, wow, so this guy says something that I see sparks your brain. I'm like, is that what black thinks? Which then has put me in a posture of just listen more, like investigate more, be curious about what he thinks. Don't assume that what you think is right, which is, I think, I don't know, like I would do that a lot. Didn't realize I was doing it. And that is also now leading to the second part of your question, changed how I speak to my girls, my fellow wives that I know personally. I feel like I've maybe become a little bit annoying because I feel like I'm always advocating for the guys, or rather advocating for, there really is both sides of the story.
Yes.
Like we say these things, right?
Yes.
We say it. And I'm like, yes, he did something crazy. I don't know, like he tipped over the fridge and you are angry about that. Okay. But nobody just leads up to that. Does it excuse it? Does it make it okay? No. But I think let's start asking more questions.
Yeah.
Don't assume that the conclusion you've drawn is the only one that there is. Because I think a lot of times, because we're always calculating and verbalizing, and it must be this, it must be this. And then you're working up and to go and ask.
Yes.
Be like, so what actually happened? The part being like, what happened? And not like, so what happened? Right? I mean, I've had to check myself, like I'm like, be curious about who this man you married actually is, so that's what it's done, which has been a huge gift. And I mean, like, I know you made the joke about start a podcast for free therapy, but the podcast has been therapy for us in a way that, because every episode we're always having a conversation. There's always like a like, okay, so you said this, or dang, I didn't know that that's what that made you feel, and both good and bad things. Yeah. Do you have a follow-up? I have a question. But
I have a nugget to drop.
Okay, go ahead.
For both married, non-married, just in light of what you just said. We always say marriage is two universes coming together. Not colliding, but they come together. There's going to be things that the other universe has to give up, and vice versa, and for them to merge and become this one universe. If you're not curious about your spouse or the person that you want to marry, so if the person you want to marry, if you're married and you're not curious, you don't have a sense of adventure for them. Not adventure to go hiking and go on fancy holidays, which if you can, please do. But if your wife or your husband is not the trail, the hiking trail that you don't wanna, she's not the terrain that you wanna hike on. She's not. And you don't have a sense of wanting to discover. And vice versa. Curiosity, discovery, patience. If you don't have a sense of, in the midst of being curious, to lead you to discovery, and in the discovery, if you're not going to be patient, to sometimes you're going to walk, discover things, but at other times you're going to have to wait for the discovery, for the reveal to happen. And that's actually harder. Because if I'm taking you on a date, there's things I'm going to discover, but I've prompted that, I've created an environment. But most of life is not prompting like big discoveries, but you're waiting for these small moments to kind of connect so that this big revelation can happen. I'm waiting for you to cook and be frustrated. And that frustration seeps into, well, I'm going to go sit and watch Judge Judy. And Judge Judy is another small component that adds on to, okay, now I feel like I'm rested. But like you mentioned earlier on, I rested too early and then I woke up in the AMs and now I'm tired because I've been up. And all those little moments, then you come out and you're like, yeah, actually, like, I'm just like an annoying person, and I'm annoyed, and I'm like, oh, okay. But it took me a day or a week for those events to kind of culminate, and this thing happens. It requires patience, right? So, and there's more to say there. But as you were talking, I'm like, if you're married and you're struggling pause. Try and ask yourself, am I not curious about who this person is becoming? As a wife, as a woman, as a sister, as a mother now, as a creative and entrepreneur and all of these things that you are, am I not curious? If I'm not, man, that I'm gonna struggle, right? Totally struggle. Because anything that we're curious about or over, we are drawn to by that curiosity so that we can go to the second thing, which is discovery. Because once I press in my curiosity, then I can't discover stuff. And it's in the discovery that my affections for you grow. It's in the discovery that like things about my universe I need to let go, because now I'm like, oh smack, like this thing that I've discovered about my wife is actually big enough that it can push this other thing out from my universe, because this one thing is gonna help us come together and it's gonna work for both of us. So if I'm not curious, it's not gonna inspire a sense of discovery. And if I'm not pressing into the discovery, then what reason do I have to be patient? I don't, because I'm not exploring. I'm not on a trail. I'm not hiking. I'm not journeying here. Not on a voyage. So if I get on that voyage, then it would require patience. And patience is, we don't get to 12 years because we are trying to hasten stuff. We don't get to 12 years because, again, even in the painful moment of how I was bulldozing you in our faith and our spirituality was what it was and how we were moving, there was a level at which I'm like, man, like if I wasn't patient, if we weren't patient, we would have given up
Yeah, for sure.
long time ago, right? But it's year 9 that I wasn't prompting stuff, wasn't doing anything, but that discovery just happened. With COVID, we're at home, we're talking about the faith again, we have time, so now we can sit, and I'm like, oh smack, I had that conversation with that pastor, and now I'm like, oh smack, like this thing is happening. But we have 9 years to be patient for that, you know. So all of that to say,
Sure.
people get frustrated in marriage because I don't think those 3 things are there. And there's more. And I was just now, they just came as you were talking. I'm like, those 3 things, man, that's what will get us to 42 years, 45 years, will get us to 50 years, because the person that you are becoming, I'm curious about, and I'm discovering her. And I can't sit here with a level or an air of arrogance thinking that I've figured out who you are entirely. I haven't figured out who I am entirely.
Dude.
I'm discovering myself with
And it's like
every
to have
shape.
that expectation is ridiculous, but it's like there, right?
ridiculous.
It's so like, why would you think that
It's
that's a reasonable thing to have?
you know why it's reasonable? You need to be stable, because I know I'm changing.
Yeah. Ooh.
I'm changing.
No,
And,
that one.
and I can't. I need space to deal with the new things I'm discovering. But if you also changing, man, it messes up my vibe. It screws.
You're messing up my world.
You're messing up my world.
You are here.
You need to be stable as I flourish and I change and I figure out who I am, and
And you must just be there.
You just need to be
accommodate
there.
all the phases.
Just be there.
You know what this makes me think of?
Yeah.
And I hope if you're going somewhere you won't forget.
No, I won't.
But
sure.
it's this, I mean, I've seen someone commented online, I don't know, maybe it's been there, but the idea of wanting a wife versus wanting to be a husband.
A husband. Yeah.
Or wanting a husband versus wanting to be a wife.
Come
right?
on. Yeah.
And it's like, that guy just wants a wife.
Yes.
You want somebody, a placeholder.
Yes.
Don't say much. Stay the same.
Stay there.
But then as a husband, but it's the world, it's my world.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And then you can flip it on the other side.
Yes.
I want a husband who's going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but I am going to do it, expect nothing. Expect nothing.
Yes.
Woo.
And sorry to throw this at you as a wife, but you can talk to your sister wives.
Like so out of order.
Sorry.
You're out of order.
But this dynamic I just described tends to happen the other way around more often.
What do you mean?
That most wives expect husbands to just be there.
Oh no, that's
Don't-
that I'll push back on.
No, that's fine. That's what I'm saying. You can push back. Stay there. Don't and here's why I say that. Nah? And maybe it does work both ways, and I want to hear your thing. But I've noticed when, especially, and I'm conscious of this because of how I dress. When a husband comes And suddenly he's like, I just bought like a new T-shirt, whatever. Then it's like, what are you doing? Like you can't, like, I expect you to just look a certain way.
Sorry, wait, you've lost me in the thing. So the husband is saying to the wife, I've bought a new T-shirt.
Yes.
And then she's like,
Let me not throw people under the bus, but
I know
remember.
what you're talking about. Yeah, okay. I don't think they watch this podcast.
That's fine. But remember.
Yes, she was mad.
And maybe let's not mention particulars, but every evolution, every time he was like, again, just naturally doing what humans do, we are changing. And he's changing. And she was like, you better not, right? And I was like curiosity, discovery, patience. Because again, his universe is merging with yours. And like the things, you might not like those things. Talk about them. But there was a sense of just shut down, right? And so I'm saying generally I've seen it come from wives. I'm not saying it doesn't come from husbands.
I know.
I know how it comes from husbands.
How do you think it comes from husbands?
Because of the roles that we expect you to play.
Okay.
So and for husbands, I know it's primarily around roles. You need to play a specific role. So if I married you to be a trophy wife, you play that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't shift from that.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're gonna mess up my feng shui. I'm the mogul. I'm growing.
Mm-hmm.
You just need to, right? Or if I need you to be in the kitchen, that's where you are. Or if I need you to just be, which I think I suffered from as well, where I'm like, no, I want my wife to be like, she's creative like me, explore, do stuff, blah, 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 blah. And then you explored, and you did stuff. And I was like, I like it. Like,
don't explore that much.
Yeah. It's like, wait, can you just don't be
do it
too
within these.
Yeah, don't be
Keep it here.
Yeah.
Keep it here.
See?
Shame, man.
Can you like be at home with it? I know I wanted this independent.
So real.
but
I want a
like-
woman to challenge me.
Yeah.
That's what you guys
No,
say.
I wanna
and she's like, bet.
Mentally stimulate. I'm
Yeah,
like,
let me
maybe
stimulate
don't
you.
stimulate my mind too much. It's okay. Like sometimes I just need it. I need independence stimulation with 1% Yebo Baba. Please just
I don't know why the image of when we first went for Thai massages and you were like, yeah.
guys, if you've
I was
ever been to a
rocked.
time, I
And I was like, this is great. And you were like, never
not
again.
going back.
And I was like, this is
And those
wonderful.
chicks were like, so what level would you want or intensity? I'm like, and they skinny.
Yeah, they tiny.
So I'm
This
like,
big.
like medium is fine. Yay!
It's strong, right?
I was like, check, if this is medium and I feel like I am in prison here. Never.
That's me being the wife who challenges your mind.
Oh. Oh.
I want it to be adventurous.
Anyway.
Yeah, I think anyway, sorry, that's where I was gonna go.
Yeah, sure.
And maybe
sure.
it's because it's purely because I would have heard more women lay their complaints.
Yes.
Right? I wouldn't have been in
Yes.
spaces
Women, yeah.
where I'm like, I think there's like one of our good friends who like who he can be like, Ish man, I'm struggling with this thing. But most of the time there is still that boundary, which I think is still healthy.
Yeah, sure.
And maybe that's why I'm like, I can list off the things where women feel like I'm just expected to, not have not have an opinion. It's his world. If he gets the job in the UK, we are definitely
following.
moving.
Sure.
If he's, you know what I mean? There's this idea, which goes back to the thing I was saying, where it's like, this is the world that I am creating, and it's gonna be like this, and everyone must play their roles. So it might just be a lack of a balanced amount of information, which is why I can be like, I think it exists on both sides. It probably just from what you're saying, because I'm like, actually, you're right, and maybe that's like even a concept of like of beauty and like presenting, like in the relationship, just within the genders, the woman's job is to be the beautiful one. So why are you now doing the most? Why are you trying to have all these things? Take that off. Go put back the chinos. So I'm like, Yeah, I don't know. I think it just shows itself in different ways. But I think it all then goes back to you're not here to service my world,
No.
right? Like we are building a
Yeah.
world together.
Yeah.
And so we're all going to be doing some uncomfortable things.
Hundreds.
Everybody's supposed to
Hundreds.
be for this to work, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just end there. I thought those were like,
So when's your book coming out?
necessary. Curiosity, discovery, patience. You
That
need-
sounds like some chapters.
if you're not married, work that into your DNA now. If you are married, maybe if you look into those three things, could solve some of your issues. Because some of the issues lie in the fact that like you're making this, this is it's hard. Just sit where you're supposed to. And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
you have to discover. You have to be
The
curious.
power of just asking a question.
You have to ask questions.
Just ask. I don't know if I've shared this story.
Just
before,
ask. Yeah.
because I talk a lot, so I might have. But oh well, we're here now.
Hmm.
There's this one couple that we know, and the wife was struggling with just a mental breakdown, right? And it's a really bad day, and the husband is in a different room, and I'm with her, and she kept saying that I think he's angry at me. I think she was really just not in a good space. I think he's angry at me. I think he's, and I'm like, why do you think he's angry at me? At you? Oh no, because I'm this, wife who's got all these issues, and I think he's really disappointed in me, And the thing is, as someone who's had her own fair share of breakdowns, I get where she was. And then I was like, did you ask him? And she's like, no. So I was like, so how do you know? And she's like, I just know. I'm like, but you didn't ask him. I think we should ask him. And then she's like, okay, please go ask him for me. And I said, no, I'll call him, and I think you must ask him so that you can hear it. And I mean, I did exactly that. They had their private conversation. But in that moment, the spiral she was already in was getting worse. Granted, I know it's a scenario where there's like illness involved, but it was exacerbated by this assumption she had. And it's like, he's not angry at you. He just wants you to be well.
Yeah.
But then and I'm just like, and I've never forgotten that. Because it's just like, just ask. And I know sometimes asking is that thing where it's like, it humbles you, man. Like you have to kind of put yourself at a, you can't come in with this,
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, just ask, guys. Just ask questions. It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how far we are, but I wanted to ask this question. This is the one question I wanted to ask. Was what has been your standout episode or moment? I mean, you've spoken to a lot of people. Like, I don't know how many episodes you've actually done, but what has been your sort of standout? Like where you left and we were like, yo, that hit me. Every episode will hit different people differently.
Yeah.
But as the host,
Yeah, I think all of them obviously hit me. The one that changed something was Una's episode.
oh, okay.
Una Rams. Yeah, so, and I think he asked this question again, curiosity. He asked this question because he embodies this trait, and he was curious from one creative to another if I kind of embody that same trait. And what is that trait? Being a creative within your role as a husband. I was like,
I remember that moment.
Mac.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, Mac, you just like changed my marriage. Because I'm a creative
Yes.
everywhere.
Yes.
There's people who again would have said, you can't be a pastor and a creative. And I'm like, yeah, I can. But funny enough, it's only my husbanding and fathering that I haven't employed my creativity,
That's so crazy.
which is
Why?
so, I don't know.
I mean,
It's
I'm
probably
assuming you didn't
'cause
know that that's what you were doing
I wasn't-
or not doing.
I
don't
wasn't
know.
doing that consciously. I think I did
Yes.
that because of just preconceived notions I placed on being a father and a husband. So it was like,
Which were?
like I failed to think how, which is ridiculous as a creative, I failed to think how my creativity could empower me in those roles. There's probably that, but I didn't also think. I thought more generically.
Okay.
Part of why I ask guys to define what a husband is there's nuances that are different, but I think overall we can kind of see that the trait. Okay, this is generally
Yes.
what we believe a husband is. And so I thought more generically and more generally, and 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 I didn't think that I could add nuance,
That's so interesting, Black.
which is weird, right? And so
Sure.
when he was like, yeah, I think, yeah, because he's living that. Like the gift he gets his wife, he designs.
Yes.
The dress she wore for the traditional wedding, he got them. I was like, oh, smack.
Which then, even outside of the material object itself,
Yeah.
that's a gift. You know?
Yes.
Like that's
Yes.
like
Yes.
we are benefiting from.
Yes.
I don't know. Like yeah, I'm struggling to put it in words.
Yes.
But outside the actual material thing of the gift of the dress or the bag, whatever it is, it's him gifting her with that thought process, with that with that. It's wow.
Yeah, so I think that revolutionized how I move as a husband. For me particularly, I think just clarifying that nuance, I was like, oh, smack, yeah, sure. And it just felt like somebody just did this. Like I'm a husband, obviously, but I was like this, and they just like it felt like chiropractor.
Yes.
And he just went. He went.
And you're like, I never knew.
And I was like, I can breathe. Yeah.
It's so crazy.
That's
I
what it
mean, I
felt
don't know why I want to say this, but it's there. Because I mean, I think that episode was now, right?
Yes.
So it's still quite fresh.
Yes.
But interestingly enough, my favorite moments in the home, like between the three of us, is like when we are doing stuff that's like inherently like us. And like one of those things is, you just make up songs. Like we'll just make up.
Yeah, but see, even that moment, I
but
don't even, in that moment, I'm a creative, but not a husband who's creative.
But I think that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
That when those moments happen, when now Zaya is making a song up about whatever.
Yes.
I need apples. And I start harmonizing because she's always making up. And then you're in there and we're just going. It's like that's us. Like that's, we hung out and we made up the song that we're going to forget. And I don't know. I almost feel like in moments, maybe you've done it without realizing it. And what I'm trying to say is that how impactful it actually is. Like for us and the value of what that gives. Like listen, eating together every night, yes, it's good and all that stuff. But sometimes it doesn't happen for us. I will take those moments over every night at 6 we're at the dinner table. Because that is forming sort of our DNA, like as a family. That's forming. She has space to express herself. And I remember that one time she wore a wig and a ballet outfit and she's just in sunglasses. And it's just like, this is us. Like we were in the house. That's what we did. We didn't go to anywhere fancy.
Yes.
And that's just something that would happen. And I don't know. It's like, so I just wonder what it would look like when you're doing it intentionally. Yes.
That's what I'm
But I think I wanted to say that in the times when you haven't been intentional, there's been so much value.
I know.
Instead of trying to be the picture of this is what happens. This is what, I mean, I'm also dealing with that. Like certain things I'm like, I'm not that wife I have in my head sometimes. Like I'm like, I'm not her. And like to grieve that and like let it go. It's okay.
Yeah, sure.
But I'm her in other ways,
Yes.
Like sometimes I do want to be just like barefoot in the kitchen. Sometimes it's nice to spend your money. It is nice, guys.
Sure.
It's nice. I understand those women. Yeah. Even if I have money, I want yours.
I know. I know.
So anyway, sorry, I went over the tangent there.
No, that's dope. But I think, intentionally employing that's the thing. Yeah, just fire.
Okay.
Two things for me. One, what episode or moment where you like, I don't know. Yeah, we are like, I'm leaving here.
Okay.
Where you're like, I can't have a husband who thinks like this.
Who thinks like this?
Yeah, or says whatever I said. I don't know.
I don't know if it's... I don't know. We'll see if we keep this part in. It's not that deep, but it's not really... I think I felt disappointed.
Okay.
Right? Which episode was it? I don't remember which one it was. but you were talking about setting out date nights
Mm-hmm.
and how, and because I know my husband, I know you. You are creative and idealistic, right? You, Jabu's a big, Vuyo's a big dreamer. You know, like me, I get it. But I remember you were speaking either about how you were going to set up this date night, and or I think it was something that you were going to do or going to start doing. And you and the guest, I wish I could remember who it was. Like I can see you speaking and I can see like the enthusiasm you have, but I can't remember who the person was. And you guys were having this moment. And I remember it was last year. And I was so disappointed because we hadn't been out in forever. And I was angry. I was like, and that's what I'm saying. It's not that big of a deal, hey? Like there are people who it's
No, that's fine.
But I remember just feeling like, and I think I had expressed it to you, that because there was so much pressure in our lives at the time. We were so strained. Everything was really different. I mean, things are still challenging, but I feel like it was just really heavy. And I'm very much, in as much as I like to be alone, but I also really love quality time with you. And it felt like all your free time was just taken up by people, everyone but me. Or me and Zaya. And I was just in that season so frustrated. And I was like, you're going to go there and tell people how you're going to do a date night. That is not going to happen. I know it's not. And I'm sad it's not going to happen because I want it to happen. And I think I sent you a WhatsApp. I probably did. I did. I
think you did. But, and here's the thing where I'm like, and I think I remember that moment. And it was, I think it was said like you saying it, like it was said with a, like, dang, I need to go do this. Nah? But it was last year.
It was last year.
Yeah, we were just like, there was just, and we don't have to get into details here, but there was just no room for us to
breathe.
Yeah. Because our lives were just busy. But then there was just no room to kind of have that date that I wanted. And so I was like, I want this thing, but I'm like, man, like it's just, it's not gonna happen, bro. At least not now.
And because, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. Because I know how idealistic you are.
Yes.
Right. And I'm not saying that in like a in a negative way. Like you have, and I also know how specific you are about things.
Yes.
I also know that if it's not gonna be exactly how I want it to be,
it's
not gonna happen.
Yep.
Like it's zero.
Yes. And
versus I will kind of adapt.
No, it's okay.
And it's fine. We'll fix
70% of this is there.
Listen, but let's go. Blaque is like, but the paper shaker is not the right color, so I'm not going.
Yes. Yes, it's a good and a bad thing.
Yeah. I think it makes you when it's good, you have this determination.
Yeah.
Which is scary sometimes. Like it's scary in the sense of I'm like, Gandhi, like you really are this guy. Like you have this fiery bullet, I'm doing this thing, which is honestly why I think we are still here doing this work with you. But also scary because I sometimes worry you get trapped by that. I sometimes feel like it's like a sleep paralysis. I want to be like, hey, get up, it's okay. So but the thing is, when it is that, like when we went away that other time and you were making us breakfast every morning for like 3 hours, but it came out the bomb. Listen, this guy's Blaque and cook, eh? Yeah. Like,
it's just,
but he needs lots of time and he needs all the right ingredients. And I'm like, why do we have to buy the fresh coriander?
But just then when you taste it.
But I get it because I'm also not, I cook for survival.
And then,
anyway,
but you are foodie as well.
I am.
Yeah,
like I just don't want to be in the kitchen. I really, guys. Grace's wife, hey, Grace is sitting to my right, your left. Grace's wife will just randomly send a container of whatever stew she made to the office with Grace. You know the level of like, I feel valued. I feel seen. I feel loved.
Come on now.
If there's a woman who understands my soul.
Come on now.
Yeah.
I know.
Anyway, I don't even remember what we're talking about because now I'm thinking about that other chicken that she made.
I'll take you out on a date.
Will you? No, you will. You will. You're so much better.
This is cool.
This was very cool.
Dope check-in. Guys, we're going to have lives.
Yes.
Soon. So if you're part of our members, if you're not joined membership, YouTube, just made that thing shine now. Join.
Join.
See, it's shining. If you join, you'll be part of our lives, and we want to connect with you in that regard. So pull through for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the lives will be.
Yeah.
Why did my brain just stop?
I don't
It was
know.
just like, bye.
Let's see. It was my lives. Lo mkhulu lo owacala my lives. Mkhulu wami.
Him.
Yabona uYouTube. Yabo? uYouTube. Bokuwuye owacala ukuyenza ama-tube. Yabo? Igama lakhe bokuyu.
You.
Wayenza ama-tube. Yabona? Lo yenza ama-tube. Ma-tube.
Mkhulu wakho.
We-straw, ma-tube. Yabo? Mkhulu wami.
Guys, shout out to that lady on TikTok. We love you so much.
Yeah!
Anyway, guys,
Anyway.
just a reminder to come through to Beans and Bonds.
Beans and
'cause
Bonds
it's gonna
this
be
coming Saturday.
fire.
It's going to be dope.
And then next week.
Next week, Saturday, the 4th of October, we are having that husband refresher, husband to be workshop. So if you want to pull through for that, it's going to be super, super dope. Husband prep. If you're a husband that's prepping, pull through for this. If you're a husband already and you want to refresh, come through.
Yes.
Happening on the 4th.
It's gonna be fine. That's only for gents, guys.
Just for gents.
Like, I know the
That's
ladies
for
are like,
husbands.
we also want because we're curious. It's only. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what happens,
Yeah.
ladies, because I'm gonna be there.
Oh, look at that. Go
But
to thathusband.com.
Beans and Bonds is for everyone, though.
Yeah, thathusband.com. You'll find both events and you'll also find membership.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, we'll see you on the flip side. This was dope, man. All right. Peace.